Here is a quick setup for my demo. We have an OpenShift installed with couple of operators, OpenShift GitOps, OpenShift pipelines, and advanced cluster security. We have already created a dev pipeline with couple of tasks. We have two deployment of apps in Argo CD, dev and stage. Advanced cluster security is configured with built-in policies. Gogs is the Git repository where our source code resides. And lastly, we have Slack integrated for notifications and alerts. Let's dive in. First, I will show you how to run an OpenShift pipeline, and we will then explore the steps in a sample secure pipeline. There are three ways to start a pipeline. Use developer UI to start. Pass the relevant parameters and click on Start. Second is the gateway. When new code is pushed to the Git repo, it will also trigger the pipeline to start. This option may be the most popular from the developer perspective. The PR or push to Git repo is sent and the webhook will automatically start the pipeline. And third is the command line to start the pipeline. It is for users who prefer the CLI. We will go ahead and use this method. Make sure you are logged into the OpenShift cluster. You will see the pipeline run when it starts. This will take a couple of minutes to complete. Note, the step image check has failed in your pipeline run. This is due to an important severity vulnerability in the image being caught by the pipeline git policy, thus stopping the deployment. Let's walk through and see what happened. First is the source clone. This is where the app source code is pulled from the Git server. Second are the unit tests. These are executed in parallel and the build is success. Third is the release app. This is where the application is packaged as jar and released to Sonas type Nexus snapshot repository. And fourth is the build image step. This is where the container image is built in dev environment using S2I and pushed to OpenShift internal registry and then tagged with latest release. And fourth is the dependency report. This is the step in the pipeline that creates a report of the app dependencies from the source code and uploads it to the report server repository. Let's take a look at the report. From the dev console, we can search for the report route. Click on the build, select your project. Here you can see all the dependencies that are on the Spring Pet Clinic project. Let's go back to the admin view. Click the pipeline run and analyze the failed task in the pipeline. Let's have a look at image scan and image check steps, which are very critical in a secure pipeline. You will see how ACS integrates into CI/CD process. It not only simplifies the process, but provides visibility to the security team in your organization. Let's go through the steps. The deploy check step shows the violating policies in the logs. The image scan step uses ACS scanner to scan the image generated and pushed in the last step. Let's check on the link and dive into more details. This is the overview landing page for vulnerability management. First is the deployments. Since the pipeline didn't pass all of its gates, there will be no deployment. Second is the components. This is the view of all the components in this image. It lists relevant information such as the number of CVEs that can be fixed, upgrade of the component, top CVSS score, etc. And third is the CVEs tab. This is an overall view of the vulnerabilities in the image. Let's scroll down to the image finding section at the bottom. In the Docker file tab, This details the component, CVEs, and exactly which steps to update. Watch Dale Bewley's Bright Talk video in more depth to learn more about ACS. Let's continue to review the pipeline. The bottom of the log for image check shows violated a policy with CI enforcement set. The reason for this error is because ACS enforces the policy from building and deploying if the violation occurs. As you can see, the logs reported the list of violations and remediations. Developers can take the information, make changes accordingly. So just for demonstration purpose, I will search and disable the policy. Note, a developer should go and fix the code and execute the pipeline until it passes all the checks. Let's turn off the build and save the policy. Let's start the last run and monitor the progress. This will again take a couple of minutes to complete. Awesome, the pipeline moved forward. Here we will analyze the post-CI steps in the pipeline, which covers dynamic application security and testing. Our CI in OpenShift pipelines waits until the Argo CD app is fully synced and then deployed. The performance tests are cloned in our pipeline workspace as shown below. The penetration testing is executed using the web scanner ZAP proxy using a baseline in order to check the possible vulnerabilities, and a ZAP proxy report is uploaded to the report server. In parallel, the performance tests are executed using the load test Gatling. You can view the results by going to the developer topology and search for the routes for reports. And click the route. Here you can see all performance test results for our application. We will now see how to implement continuous deployment for cloud-native applications. We already deployed the app in dev environment. Now let's push it to staging. Let's go to the developer workspace and see if our app is running in the dev namespace. Great, our app is running here. Let's synchronize this app for the staging application. The application of Argo CD syncs the manifest in a gigs repository and applies the changes into the namespace is defined. Argo CD will deploy every manifest that is defined in the branch or repo of the applications. Back to the developer console, click on topology and verify if you can access the app. Let's move to the last section of notifications and alerts. ACS can be integrated with several notifiers for alerting if certain events happen. In our case, we integrated with Slack. When some policies are violated, we will get notified. These policy notifications can be enabled by each system policy. You can create your own notification baseline in order to have only proper information received in your systems. Go to Slack and verify if you can see the alerts. Click on the link and it will redirect you to the policy violations page. That's how easy it is to integrate. To recap, we saw how we built a secure DevOps secure pipeline that orchestrates a combination of different security tools using OpenShift GitOps, OpenShift pipelines, and Red Hat Advanced Cluster Security. The artifact for the demo can be found on the GitHub link, and special thanks to these Red Hatters.